If you are interested in becoming an accountant, I wanted to share 3 pieces of advice I wish I knew before I entered this career. Hi, my name is Kelly Randolph. I've worked in accounting for over 10 years now. I've worked at Fortune 200 and Fortune 500 companies, as well as private and public companies, and I'm currently a financial reporting manager. The first thing I wish I knew before becoming an accountant is that there are more job opportunities than just working at Big Four as an auditor or working in tax. A lot of times when we're in college, those are the 2 main positions that our professors are talking about, but there are so many more opportunities outside of those 2 positions. Specifically, corporate accounting. For example, one of the things that has brought me the most amount of success in my career is having the opportunities to work at very large Fortune 200 and Fortune 500 companies. The reason being is because Fortune 500 companies are extremely well-known companies. These companies have extremely established processes and procedures in place. So if you are able to work for a very large company in your area, a very well-established company in your area, that is going to open up so many doors for your career. The other really good thing about working at large public companies is usually the departments that you work in are extremely defined. So for example, if you're hired on as a corporate accountant, what you'll be working on is corporate accounting. It's very rare that these companies don't have separate accounts receivable departments, account payable departments, payroll departments, HR departments, and accounting departments. However, if you go to a small company or a startup company, a lot of times these positions are blended. So you might be hired on as a staff accountant, but then you're also responsible for doing accounts payable work or accounts receivable work. So you just want to be aware of that. The second thing I want to talk about is the importance of building strong business relationships in your current company. And then also when you quit that company and move to a different company, leaving on good terms. This was really highlighted in my life recently because I am currently a financial reporting manager. My goal is to become a senior financial reporting manager, and that's something I'm working towards right now at my company. Well, recently, my previous employer, which was a Fortune 500 company, reached out to me to see if I would be interested in coming back to their company in a senior financial reporting manager position. And they specifically said that they had talked to my previous coworkers that I used to work with at the company, and everyone said such nice things about me and my work performance there. And they were curious if I would be interested in coming back and joining their team again. And so this is a huge compliment for me, and I'm super excited about that opportunity. Unfortunately, I did have to decline because I am working towards a senior financial reporting manager position at my current company, and I'm expected to get it hopefully very soon. I'll let you know if that happens. But it just shows the importance of having good work relationships at the companies that you work for. I think that a lot of times when we're in school, we know we have to be really good accountants, but that whole relationship building thing, networking thing, it's not really emphasized as being important, but it is, especially in very competitive job markets where there's a lot of people that know accounting. There's a lot of people that have bachelor's degrees in accounting. So what differentiates a candidate a lot of times in the interview is not the skills that they know, because let's say we're interviewing 10 different candidates. You guys all probably are bachelor's degrees in accountants. You all know debits and credits. You all know about the balance sheet. But what differentiates people is their personality and if they would be a good team fit. So I think what I'm getting at is there's this whole human component that is, in my opinion, what's really going to help accelerate your career is just navigating having good professional relationships with your coworkers and the company that you work for. The third thing I wish I knew before becoming an accountant is that you do not need a CPA to be an accountant. You do not need a CPA to earn over 6 figures to be an accounting manager. Where a CPA becomes valuable is going to be when you want to start advancing further in your career. So for example, once I become promoted to a senior financial reporting manager, then I will go for my CPA, because that is going to help get me from a senior financial reporting manager to a director level, to give you an idea of how I'm thinking about the benefits of having a CPA. But to get to my current position, which is a financial reporting manager, I did not need my CPA. And many of my friends who are also accounting managers did not get their CPA yet either. And so Don't let not having a CPA stop you from getting an accounting job, because you don't really need it until you're a little bit further in your career. And this kind of also goes along with the master's degree in accounting. I really don't think that you need a master's degree in accounting. I kind of think that those are extremely expensive, and the cost there is not worth the value, in my opinion. I think a lot of times people are thinking about getting a master's because they want the additional credit hours necessary for getting their CPA. But I really recommend that you just get those additional credit hours by going to a community college and just having them look at your transcript and then seeing which classes you can take at the community college that make up the requirements to become CPA eligible. That is going to be a lot more cost efficient, and I'm really not a fan of taking on additional debt, and especially a lot of debt, if it's not necessary. So those are the 3 things that you should know before becoming an accountant. 1, corporate accounting opens a lot of doors. 2, professional business relationships really matter. And 3, you do not need a CPA and you do not need a master's of accounting. So hopefully this advice was helpful. And if it is, definitely give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.